There are so many people and friends and clients that have asked me for years about spirit guides. Do I have one? Where are they? How do they connect with me? How do I know they're around me? And am I worthy of even having a spirit guide? Who would want to look after me? So what I want to be able to do today is to see if I can help you to understand a little more about spirit guides and how I understand them and how they relate to me. I've been aware of spirit guides since I was very young, from about the age of 11, when I remember asking for a spirit guide to help me with something I was experiencing at the time, which was really quite difficult. And I remember what I felt staggered me, because it was this warm, tingly feeling that was almost an instant response to my request for some help from someone I couldn't see, someone I didn't know what they looked like, and I didn't know really what their name was or anything like that. I just asked. You know what? I think that we all ought to ask more. But the best thing to do to strengthen the link with a spirit guide is to be able to acknowledge their presence, to even have gratitude by saying thank you. Almost is like inviting someone in through the door of your home. And you know, like myself and others, we've had people come to our door of our home and we haven't wanted to let them in. You know, this door-to-door salesman, the people who bang on the door and want something for a charity or want to ask for something from you. You know, we don't invite them all in, but this is different. This is inviting a friend into your space. Just like you invite a friend into your home and you greet them, you acknowledge them and you thank them for being there. And what is really interesting about spirit guides is that we don't just have one, we have many. And I believe that they're all part of our soul group. And I believe in other lifetimes, past lives. To me it makes sense, but I also am aware too that our spirit guides have connected for me personally through many lifetimes. The ones I have the deepest, most profound connection to, and the ones I feel most comfortable with, the most empowered by, tend to be the ones that have been with me many, many times, and therefore the emotional bond and link and trust is much more profound. The thing is, in this lifetime, in this incarnation, often we're not brought up with that belief system that encourages to believe or even ask in a spirit guide. The other thing I think is important is to be able to ask for the highest guide to be able to help you, not just a guide or one guide, but the highest guide. I think that's also important. It means that whoever of the group of guides that are there to help you, the one that is most appropriate to whatever you need help for at that time will be the one that steps forward. You see, I think the important thing about this is that we go through life when often we feel we can cope with anything. I know that I did when I was young. You grow up and just think, you know what, I can deal with most things, and you know, you get through life, you deal with stuff, you plow on and you just hope that everything's going to get better. You disassociate from things that are emotionally difficult for sometimes. But I know that there are times when, in my life, when everything was stripped away, then the one thing I was left with was that connection I had with this power and presence of a higher vibration, a spiritual deity, if you like, that would draw close to me, that no one could take away from me, that no one could deny me, because it was my own personal experience. And that is something that you too can also connect with, however difficult or challenging your circumstances are. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. And because the essence of you is of spirit and energy, that essence of you, which is spirit and energy, is infinite. That means it was here before you came into this incarnation, and it will also continue when the physical body has finished its journey for you. Because the essence of you is of spirit, those guardian angels and spirit guides are also spirit. And therefore when you connect with them, it feels like you've come home. It feels as if someone understands you, because they always come with love, compassion, respect, and also this desire to assist you in whichever way is most productive to you having peace in your life. And we all want that, right? And so when you feel your guides around you, you will always feel peace, love, support, wisdom, teachings, but they will not tell you what to do. Otherwise, how could they be a guide? But I want to introduce you to my two guides out of my team. And these two, the one that's been around me the longest, I feel, and probably I've known the longest, is my friend here, the Chinaman. And the Chinaman has been with me for many years. He presents himself through me very often when I'm teaching in my work, through my development groups. He first presented himself, in fact, back in 1992, when a group of people I was sat with all started to stare at me and said they could see my features changing as my spirit guide, this one here, little man, came forward very, very closely and overshadowed my features. And of course I wasn't too sure. I knew something was going on, but I didn't know whether they'd really seen that. But of course I was working and I was still teaching, doing my spiritual work, and I was going to another country, and in that other country as I was working, then this little man here came forward again. And people who didn't know anything about me or him saw the same person, and so the relationship began to grow even more strongly. And so he helps me with my work and my teaching, with my healing work and energy work, because in this persona, in that incarnation, that's what he was skilled in. This is what his gift was. And so he helps to me in my work using energy and healing and to teach. The other person I'd like to introduce you to as well, who was also seen back in 1992, was this gentleman here, who was a German doctor, a surgeon. And one or two people have looked at him and said, I know him. He worked on me, but through another healer. And this gentleman has often come through and worked through me as I'm working with someone with healing. And he puts his hands into my hands and I can feel his energy. He is a very gentle but very respectful. He has a different feel to him than this little Chinese man that's here. Now, the reason I'm careful about names is names are not that important when you're talking about spirit guides. In essence, they've had many, many, many names because they've had many incarnations. But for us, of course, we feel it's important to have a name. And so, really, when I ask them, what would you like me to call you, they say whatever you want. But you may find, if you connect with your spirit guide in meditation, or when you're just sitting quietly and you feel a presence there, just ask for a name and see what name pops into your head, because what you're doing is connecting to the energy. So therefore, when you think of that name or ask for that person by name, then you'll find they come in because they recognize that call and you recognize that energy as well, and it becomes a comfort to you. I think the importance of this is so we don't feel alone. So many people now feel alone in what they're going through in life. Not necessarily alone in as much they don't have anyone around them, but they often just feel alone in life. And when you have an awareness of spirit and spirit guides and guardian angels and even angelic beings, then you will never feel alone. You will always feel that wherever you go, and even if you feel that you have a situation which is going to be a challenge to you, even if it's one which is a normal situation, going for a job interview, going to see the mother-in-law, going to see someone who you know could be a difficult or challenging time because they always trigger you, ask for your guides to be with you, to help you, to protect your sensitivity, to help you to say the right things at the right time. And believe me, you will always find, you may not always get the help the way you think you're going to get it, but you will get the help that you need at that time. And then you say thank you. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you found it of some interest.